So this video is specifically going to be for people that fit any one of these categories. Let me list off a couple things that might maybe this will fit your situation. You are somebody that wants to improve socially, like you want to learn how to just have better conversations or talk to more people. It could be romantically, whether you want to talk to more guys or more girls. You want to, whether you want to talk to more people, make more friends, get into a relationship. You want to talk to more people in general. I'm going to give you like the realistic understanding of what it's like to just go out and improve on your ability to talk to more people. Now, I am someone that's always been naturally social, so I've been blessed in that aspect. However, there are times where, depending on my mood or even like a given situation, where I might struggle to approach somebody, or like cold approaching girls, for example, is something that there's always going to be like a little bit of a reject, or like a little bit of a wall barrier to doing that. Earlier today, I tried to have a conversation. Well, he came up to me, one of the guys that I know at the gym. This is somebody I've brought up on this channel before that I can tell he's not like the easiest to talk to socially. It's a little socially awkward when I talk to him. So that if you fit that category, then this would be the video that you're going to want to watch. Learning how to improve your social skills is a very learnable skill. And the whole point of this channel is just to help people learn how to have better conversations, how to become more confident, how to be more social, how to talk to more people, whether that's cold approaching somebody, meeting strangers, making friends. It doesn't matter. I want to help you guys do that because I've always been very social. I thrive in social environments. So I want to walk you through what to expect, whether you're a guy or a girl, like on your journey to just learning how to kind of make more friends or learn how to, any one of those things that I mentioned. Okay, so before I talk about that, if you do like what you see in this video, please give it a thumbs up, guys. I would really appreciate it. Brand new channel, and you would help promote this video into YouTube's algorithm. Okay, so, if you struggle socially, if you're somebody right now that's like, oh, I wish I had more friends, or oh, I wish I just knew more people, or I feel lonely because I don't know how to talk to people. I sit at home all day. Like if you're introverted, for example, I believe you're only introverted because you've just never been taught the social skills to be able to go out and just talk to people. So anything in life is a skill set. Learning how to deal with women is a skill set. Learning sales is a skill set. Marketing, which is what I did prior to coaching now, is a skill set. Like everything can be learned. So this is going to be easier for the men than it is for the women. I will go ahead and just say that right now. That is because men are not as emotional as women. So I fully believe that women have a harder time getting rejected than men do. So if you want to learn how to talk to more people, we're going to have to meet strangers one way or another. Now, I mean, it might be easier if you're a girl, if we just want to like talk to people. Like if there's, because like, I mean, like if you see like a cute girl or a cute guy, for example, that you want to cold approach, that might be difficult because that fear of rejection's there. But if it's just a random stranger where you're going to ask somebody a question, then you're not even thinking about if they like you or not. You just don't care. So on that aspect, then you're going to, the first step to like learning how to become more social is you're going to have to learn how to talk to random strangers. And everyone, from my understanding, I always say this because I just haven't done the research on it. It's either a learned fear or we're inherently born with it, but it's a fear of rejection. So cold approaching people is so difficult for both sexes because we, as humans, we have a natural fear of rejection. Another thing that makes this harder is if you've ever been taught stranger danger, well, you've been conditioned, depending on how old you are now, for decades to believe from your parents that you should not talk to strangers. So not only do we have a natural fear of rejection when it comes to just talking to strangers because we don't know if they're going to like us or not, and now we've also got a conditioned belief that we have to get over, that we shouldn't talk to strangers. And I can tell you right now that talking to strangers, dude, it can be a really enjoyable time, especially when you get into those conversations that are just really fun to have. Now, of course, you're going to have, like, if you're ever in a conversation with somebody that you just don't want to be in, obviously that sucks. But even if that's the case, and you still want to, like, work on, like, the conversation I had with this dude earlier, like, he's cool. He comes up and talks to me every single time he sees me. But even then, it's kind of just like I said, it's just one of the most difficult conversations to have, because it's like we could just sit there and just stare at each other for like 3 minutes, and it's like, dude, somebody say something. But when you don't give enough information for the other party to work with, it's hard to have conversations. Okay, so the first step to just learning how to meet more people is developing that confidence of approaching people, learning how to talk to strangers. You have to learn how to cold approach people, again, for whatever reason. Talk to strangers, because you need to learn how to condition yourself that strangers are not bad. Strangers are not scary. Talking to people can be really enjoyable. A lot of the times when you go and talk to somebody, if you just go up and like ask somebody a question, the fear of if they're going to like it or not is always worse than what actually happens in the moment. And it's one of those things where you're not going to be able to internalize what I just said until you actually go out of your way in doing it. Like getting rejected by a girl, for example. Men were just like, dude, I don't want to do that. But like, it's like, oh, that's going to suck. But like, once it happens, you're just like, okay, whatever. I mean, granted, I'm like that. I get some men can like let their egos get the best of them and they freak out. But I'm just like, all right, whatever, on to the next. But that's because I've conditioned myself to just know that dating for men is a numbers game. We're gonna have to keep approaching more girls. Well, when it comes to learning how to talk to strangers, you're gonna have to put the reps in. You're gonna have to go out of your way, see somebody, say something to them. I have openers, so like just go up and give them a compliment, ask their name, and say, "Hey, can I ask you a question? Hey, can I have your opinion?" Or you could just hey, just whatever question you have, just fucking ask them. So, hey, what's your name? Hey, it's good to meet you. By the way, what do you think about like Labubus, for example? Because I've got 3 of them right here. You would just go straight in to the conversation. All right. So that is going to take a little bit of time to develop that confidence, because when you first start doing something new, because you don't know what's going to happen yet. And of course, one of the basic 6 human needs is a need for certainty. So when it comes to talking to anybody new that you don't know, there's always going to be that uncertainty that's going to pop up. And you're never really going to know what that next interaction is going to be like. So there's always going to be some kind of wall. But when you talk to people enough times, you're going to get to a point where you don't even think about it. Like when you're in the moment, you just fucking say something and it just comes out. That's where I want you guys to get to. And in order to get to that point, you're going to have to consciously be aware of going out of your way to approach people. Okay? Now, let's say that if you don't want to learn how to cold approach people, that's fine. If you want to get better at having better like conversational skills, well, that's also something. Like what I mean by that is like if you're talking to your friends, if you are that person where it's like, when you talk to people, you're a little socially awkward because you believe that you don't know how to have conversations, or you believe that you're introverted, so you prefer to be by yourself and you're not good at talking. Whatever you believe, we need to change that. So that's why I have this channel, because I want to teach you guys how to have better conversations with people, how to make your friends like you more. So like if you're talking to friends, well, if you already know them, you might not care what you say. Like if you're already comfortable with somebody, you might not care what comes out of your mouth. You guys, like I look at my friends now, and like the few of them that I have at this point in my life, because I'm 30, so like the 3 that I have, and I just whatever comes out of my mouth just comes out of my mouth. I just don't care. But I'm like that with everybody too. I just don't fucking care whatever comes out of my mouth. So when it comes to talking to even like having better conversations with your friends, it's still something like you tell them, like I would tell them, hey man, I'm learning how to have like better conversations with people in general. And since I know you and I trust you, are you comfortable? Are you cool if I like ask you a couple questions? I have literally went out of my way to ask some of my friends. So we'll look at like Jess, for example. I've asked her, hey, I'm working on asking better questions. You cool if I ask you a couple? She's like, yeah, sure. So I asked her these questions, and she was willing to work with me when it came to asking questions. So for example, a question that, is very typical for like a guy to ask a girl, hey, what do you do for fun? Well, instead of that, let's elicit an emotion so we can make her feel something when we ask that question. Hey, when you find or let me see if I'm doing this off the top of my head. First video of the day. So instead of what do you do for fun, you would say, hey, when you think of something that makes you happy, what's the first thing you think of? Or, hey, when you have some free time and you find yourself doing something that makes you happy, what are you doing? Or, hey, when you see, even I'm butchering these questions right now just because like this is still something that like it takes practice. There's so many different ways to ask this question. Hey, when you enjoy doing, or when you have free time, or hey, what do you enjoy doing that when you do it, it makes you feel really happy? So you could ask that. Hey, what do you find yourself doing that when you do it, it makes you feel extremely happy? So you see how many like different ways there are to ask this question? That's what I mean. Like, you're going to have to practice these questions enough times to where even if this is like the first video of the day, for example, you know how to ask that question. I remember I used to ask that question where I would say like, I would say like, you lose track of time. So, hey, what do you enjoy doing that when you do it, you completely lose track of time? So that would be like a better way of doing it. So because I've practiced that one came out a little more like naturally. But that's what I mean is like, you're going to have to practice like these kinds of questions, because like even these questions, I'm learning these from like neuro-linguistic programming. So these questions are eliciting specific like emotional states. So these are like advanced level questions. But if you have your friends and you want to learn how to ask better questions, well, you would say, hey, I'm trying to practice asking better questions. Are you cool if I ask you some of these just so I can practice them? And like if I went back and I asked Jessica some of these questions, for example, if I repeated that, maybe I would be refilming this video a second time, but then I wouldn't have to like butcher those. Like, I'm not editing any of this out. This is literally all off the top of my head. And I want you guys to understand that somebody that's extremely good at talking still struggles when it comes to like finding ways to ask these questions. Okay, so that's I want you to get that expectation of like, when it comes to just learning how to develop social skills, I'm proof that I am stellar at having conversations in the given moment. Another one you can ask, like, just to give you another question, if we throw that out there, is just like, I asked this question to this girl at the gym the other day, girl that she's very one of those where it's like she's married with 3 kids, phenomenal woman, dude. This girl's so sweet, but you can tell she's very like reserved, and I'm quite literally the only person that she talks to, and that's because like I went out of my way one day just to go up and talk to her. I remember I saw that she had a ring on one time, and I was like, hey, listen, I was like, hey, excuse me, I know you have a ring on, so please just take this as a compliment, but I wanted to let you know that you're literally one of the most beautiful girls that I've ever seen at this gym. And then I said that to her, went on my way, and I saw her a different day, and I went up and asked her another question, and I think it was like, hey, when you do something, see, I'm even like butchering these questions because like the way you ask that, I know there's like, what do you enjoy doing that when you do it, it makes you feel really happy? I feel like that, what do you enjoy doing? I feel like that's structured a different way. Like when I asked her, but I asked her the other day, I was like, hey, what's a perfect weekend look like for you? I was like, hey, what's a perfect weekend look like for you, whether you had the kids with you or not? So that's another way, like, because then when you ask somebody a question like that, right? Like if you're talking to your friends, hey, let's say you had a full weekend off of work, or you had a full weekend with no responsibilities. What would a perfect weekend look like for you where you could do literally anything you wanted and you could go anywhere? It's like when you ask questions like that, like you're getting the person. That's a very personal question, because you're like the response to that, the person you're talking to has to go inside and they've got to talk about, like, that's a very personal response. And because humans are selfish, and I know we're kind of getting off track of this video here, but because humans are selfish, when you ask somebody questions like that, that's not a normal question that people ask. So when you ask people deeper questions, you're getting them to talk about themselves. And humans love, especially women, love talking about themselves. So this is why, like, if you're wanting to learn how to have, like, if you want to make more friends, if you want to, like, that's what I said at the beginning of the video, if you just want to learn how to meet more people, talk to more people, make more friends, have more relationships, like asking deeper questions like that takes practice, but those are questions that normal people just don't know how to ask. They're very because they require some thought and some practice to be able to ask. So that's what I mean. It's like the whole point of this video is literally just for me to tell you that whatever it is you're trying to improve socially, whether it's your confidence to talk to people, your ability to have conversations with strangers or friends or with your girlfriend or boyfriend, if you want to meet, it doesn't matter. whatever it is you're trying to improve on socially, I want you guys to know that it's going to take time, and you're going to have to practice. Like, you're going to have to find yourself consciously saying, okay, I'm going to go here and I'm going to say something to one person. Okay, I've got a couple questions that I want to learn how to ask. Oh, let me see if I'll text my friend if I can ask him, or if I see him in person. Hey, I'm learning how to or I'm learning how to talk better. Can I ask you a question just so I can kind of practice? You're going to have to practice these skills, right? So like if you're introverted, for example, well, if you're introverted and you're someone that's like, I'm just terrible at having conversations, the only way you're going to get better in this case is you're going to have to learn how to cold approach people. If you're introverted, you prefer to be by yourself over a short period, like your social battery drains faster. So you might have friends, but you might not have a lot of friends. And if you're somebody that just like, if you stay home all day and you want to go out and do more stuff, well, you're gonna have to like meet people in order to be able to be invited to go and do stuff. And in order to do that, you're going to have to learn how to meet new people. You could go on, like my ex-girlfriend, for example, she told me not too long ago when I saw her for the first time in a couple months that she's one of these people that really like stays by herself for the most part. She's like, hey, I'm in a Facebook community now where we all get together, some of the girls and we all plan times to go out and do stuff. So she's going out of her comfort zone to go and meet random girls on this community to go and do things. That is the first step that you could do. You're going to have to go out of your way to find, like, to put yourself in situations where you can meet strangers. And then from there, you're going to spend time with them. And then when you spend time with these people, now you've learned how to meet more people. Okay, well, when you've learned how to meet more people, you got to learn how to talk to them. Well, that's where your social skills come in. So now you got to learn how to have conversations. You got to learn how to ask a lot of questions. You got to learn how to ask follow-up questions. You got to learn how to get to know people. And all of that is going to take practice. And in order to do this, guys, I'll finish the video here. In order to do this, you're going to have to be like, okay, I'm going to go here. I'm going to do this at least once. I'm going to go here. I'm going to say hi to one person. I'm going to ask one person a question, and then that's it. And that's it. That's all you got to do. Everything, like learning how to become more confident, more social, meet more friends, it doesn't matter. All of it takes practice. And the reality is it's not something that's going to happen overnight. More than likely, what's going to happen is you're not even going to be aware of yourself getting better. But once you keep practicing this, you're going to find yourself slowly starting to do these things. You're practicing more and more and more and more, and then you're not even going to think about practicing. You're just going to do it. You're going to start meeting more people. You're going to start, your lifestyle is going to change. You're going to start going out more. You're going to start making more friends. You're going to start being like me. Like I know a lot of people at the gym. I know I can talk to anybody anywhere. So I call them all like acquaintances because I'm very picky with who I hang out with. You're going to be able to have, like, you're going to meet more people that you can call acquaintances. You're going to meet more people that you can talk to when you're out. Humans are designed to socialize. Humans are designed to connect. If you find yourself in a spot right now where you prefer to be alone, I'm not judging you, but I want you to know that that's not normal. Okay, that's not normal. You had to be conditioned to believe that. Humans are designed to connect. This video is just to give you the realistic understanding of what to expect when you do improve on this. Okay, guys, so if you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. I'd really appreciate that. Hey, if you want to learn how to practice your social skills more, check this video out right here, guys. Hey, I'll see you in the next one.